Hello and welcome to the FA Women's National League show. The show where we look at everything that has happened in the Northern Premier, Southern Premier and Division 1 North, Midlands, South East and South West over the past 7 days. My name is Chris Gadsby and this is episode 2 of this brand new show. We're going to look at everything about the opening day of the season. We're going to look at the early tables, the fixtures that are coming up on Sunday, and earlier on today we had the draw for the determining round of the FA Women's National League Cup. So as some may already be aware, this is Monday the 16th of August. So I'm recording this the day before this goes out. But before I get too far into the show, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who has shown support to the show so far. I've got far more kind of followers and kind of support for the show at this early stage anyway that I could possibly have hoped for and thought that I would get. So thank you to everybody, and as I said, I'll repeat my mantra from last week. I just want to try and help to grow the league as much as possible. With that done, as I said, big thank you to everybody. Let's get straight to it and have a look at the results from the opening day of the season. Similar again to last week, I've got my second screen here with more information on it. So when I'm turning this way, I've got more information there to bring you. So let's start with a look at the Northern Premier Division results. I'll read them out just for anybody who's just got this on in the background. So Brighouse Town 2, Derby County 3, AFC FAWNL 4, West Bromwich Albion 0. Loughborough Lightning 2, Hull City 2, Nottingham Forest 0, Huddersfield Town 0, Sheffield 0, Burnley 4, and Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Middlesbrough 0. So I'll go through each fixture in turn and give as much information as I've got from the FA Women's National League website. So let's start then with Brighouse Town against Derby County. Brighouse Town leading 2-1 at half-time. Goals there from Drew Green and Danielle Whitman, but then Derby County bring it back to win by 3-2. AFC FAWNL beating West Bromwich Albion by 4-0. Goals there from Jenna Carroll, Bethany Donoghue and 2 for Jodie Redgrave for AFC FAWNL. Loughborough Lightning and Hull City sharing 2 goals apiece with a thrilling end to that one. Loughborough Lightning goals for Chloe Young in the 71st minute. That was pulling it back to 1-1 after Hull City were leading 1-0 at half-time thanks to Liberty Bott. Emily Smith then put Hull City ahead with just 5 minutes of normal time to go. They were leading 2-1 until the 3rd minute of added time. Ella Powell equalising for the Loughborough Lightning to make it 2-2. Forest and Huddersfield Town sharing a goalless draw. Huddersfield Town saving an 88th minute penalty in that one to get a point away at Nottingham Forest. Burnley with a strong start to their season, 4-0 against Sheffield. And then finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers beating Middlesbrough by 2-0. Only the 1 goal recorded there at the moment. Jamila Palmer in the 31st minute for Wolves getting that goal. So those are the results from the Northern Premier Division. If we have a look now at the Northern Premier Division table, obviously only the one set of fixtures to go in there so far, but it's a Burnley joint top with AFC FAWNL with 3 points and a goal difference of 4. Wolverhampton Wanderers in second with their goal difference of 2, and Derby County with the goal difference of 1 in 4th place at the moment. Hull, Loughborough, Huddersfield and Forest all on 1 point. Stoke City didn't have a game this weekend. And then in the reverse order there, Brighouse Town, Middlesbrough, Sheffield and West Bromwich Albion at the foot of the table for the moment. Let's go through then into the Southern Premier Division and the Southern Premier Division results. Again, I'll read them out and then go back through them in a bit more detail. So Bridgewater United 4, Chichester and Chelsea 0. Great start to the season for Bridgewater United. Crawley Wasps 3, Cardiff City 0. Hounslow 0, Ipswich Town 6. Really strong start for Ipswich. Keynsham Town 2, London Bees 0. Oxford United 2, Gillingham 0. Portsmouth 5, Plymouth Argyle 1. and Southampton 3, Milton Keynes Dons 1. Start then with Bridgewater against Chichester and Chelsea. We had goals for Chichester from Tia Asker, Lee Burridge and Sydney Hinchcliffe. Again, a 4-0 victory there. Only 3 goals recorded at the moment. On the half-hour mark, an own goal from Chichester and Chelsea. The reasoning there for that one. 193 at that game as well. Really good attendance there for Bridgewater. Crawley against Cardiff City. Not a great start for the Welsh side, going down 3-0 away from home. 2 goals for Naomi Cole there for Crawley and 1 for Nikita Winnett on the 70-minute mark. Just really sealed that game for Crawley. Ipswich Town, though, had the best result of the Southern Premier Division with a 6-0 win away at Hounslow. Maddie Biggs, Bonnie Horwood, Paige Peake, 2 goals for Natasha Thomas and Lucy O'Brien with the goals for Ipswich. Keynsham Town 2, London Bees 0. Kerry Bartlett scoring on 40 minutes, just 5 minutes after Kerry Walklett had put Keynsham ahead. So they came away with a 2-0 victory against the London Bees. And that was the same scoreline for Oxford United against Gillingham. 2-0 there as well. Sarah King with the goal in the first half and Reva Castley with the goal for Oxford United in the second half. Plenty of goals in the second half as well at Portsmouth, where it was 0-0 at half-time. But then we've had our first hat-trick as well. In fact, even more than that. So it went 1-0 to Portsmouth. Shannon Albury on the 57th minute, putting Portsmouth ahead. That lead lasted for 2 minutes. Rebecca Dandridge equalising for Plymouth in the 59th minute. Plymouth playing the majority of the second half with 10 players as well. Olivia Ramsey being sent off in the 48th minute. And then after that, it was the Sherelle Castle show. Goals in the 71st, 78th, 88th and 93rd minute. 4 goals for Sherelle on Sunday afternoon. Really gave Portsmouth, in the end, a dominating victory over Plymouth Argyle. And finally, in the Southern Premier Division, Southampton 3, Milton Keynes Dons 1. 2 goals for Lucia Kendall for Southampton in the 30th and 36th minute. Ella Pusey in the 66th minute, another goal there for Southampton. And then MK Dons, Molly Cooper getting the only goal for Milton Keynes Dons. What that means then for the Southern Premier Division table, everybody having played 1 game, it's Ipswich at the top with a goal difference of 6. Portsmouth and Bridgewater United both have a goal difference of 4. Crawley Wasps on 3. Southampton, Keynsham and Oxford on 2. So they all have 3 points. And then, again, the reverse from that, MK Dons, Gillingham, London Bees, all with a -2 goal difference. Cardiff City there on -3. Plymouth Argyle -4. Chichester and Chelsea on -4 as well. And then Hounslow on at -6 at the bottom of the table after each team has played 1 game. Through then into the Division 1 Midlands, and this is where in Division 1 the scores really start to rack up. Bedworth United 1, Boldmere St Michael's 8. A riot for Boldmere St Michael's in the end. Burton Albion 0, Doncaster Rovers Bells 1. Strong opening game for Burton Albion, but just coming on the wrong side of the result against Doncaster Rovers Bells. Long Eaton United 4, Leafield Athletic 0. The game between Peterborough United and Wem Town was postponed. But the biggest win in that league, surprisingly, didn't come from Boldmere St Michael's and their 8-1 victory, because Solihull Moors came over 8-0 victors against Leek Town. And then finally, Sporting Cowser 1, Lincoln City 2. Look at that opening game then, Bedworth United against Boldmere St Michael's. A really early start actually for Bedworth United. In the 7th minute, Kirsty Farnsworth getting the game underway. And that was, sadly, the only goal for Bedworth United. Annie Highway getting a goal in the 20th minute and the 36th minute to put Bournemouth St Michael's 2-1 up at the break. Then came straight back into it, getting a hat-trick in the 46th minute. A goal for Evie Billingsley on 57 minutes. Annie Highway then getting her 4th of the game on 64. Stephanie Weston, the substitute, on 68 minutes and 86 minutes. And Macy Fox on 89 minutes, giving Bournemouth St Michael's an 8-1 victory to start their campaign. Not as exciting on the goal front at Burton Albion, as they lost, as I said, by a 1-0 to Doncaster Rovers Bells. Hannah McWilliams, the goal scorer there for Doncaster Rovers Bells. Long Eaton United 4-0 up over Lee Field Athletic. A strong performance there from Long Eaton. Unfortunately, the scorers haven't been put on the website. As I said, Peterborough United against Wem Town postponed. Solihull Moors 8-0 victors over Leek Town. The goal scoring started in the 16th minute. Lois Jeffries with the goal there. 31st minute, Jessica Lundy joined in. Annie Ackroyd 2 minutes later in the 33rd minute made it 3-0 to Solihull. And that is how they went in at the break. Straight after the break, Lois Jeffries, her 2nd of the game on 46 minutes, gave them a 4-0 lead. Maisie McDonnell on 64 minutes made it 5. 2 goals then for substitute Catherine Pagan on 71 and 74, made it 7-0. And then Jenna Roberts rounded out the 8-goal scoring on the 88th minute, with, as I said, making that 8-0 for Solihull Moors. Sporting Cowser against Lincoln City. The goals for Lincoln in that 2-1 victory, Jessica Razoo and Leah Hardy. It hasn't said who scored the goal for Sporting Cowser. The Division 1 Midlands table then, with Solihull Moors up at the top with a goal difference of 8 after just 1 game. Bournemouth St Michael's hot on their tail with a goal difference of 7. Then Long Eaton United, Lincoln City and Doncaster Rovers Bells, the sides that won on Sunday. Howell Sports, Peterborough United and Wem Town not playing. And then towards the bottom, Sporting Cowser, Burton Albion, Leafield Athletic, Bedworth United and Leek Town at the foot of the table. Moving then into the Division 1 North results. We've got Alnwick Town 3, Chester Street Town 3, Barnsley 1, Norton and Stockton Ancients 2, Bradford City 1, Chorley 2, FC United of Manchester 0, Newcastle United 6, Leeds United 1, Stockport County 0, and Liverpool Feds 2, Durham Sestra 0. So a 6-goal thriller then at Alnwick Town. Lucy Jackman putting Alnwick Town in front in just the 4th minute, and that advantage was doubled by Sophie Williams in the 27th minute. They went in at the half level though, 2 goals in the final 8 minutes of normal time. Elizabeth Thompson-Clark first, and then Anna Collin for Chester Street Town to make it 2-2. They then took the... Well, to be honest, I'm not sure if they took the lead or fell behind, because Sophie Williams in the 85th minute for Alnwick Town and Annie Slegg in the 85th minute for Chester Street Town. So 2 goals in very quick succession. But I'll be honest, I'm not sure which way round they went. Let me just have a look. It appears as though Sophie Williams gave Alnwick Town a 3-2 lead first before Annie Slegg brought it back pretty much straight away. Burnley 1, Norton and Stockton Ancients 2. Norton and Stockton Ancients with a 2-0 lead at the halfway stage. 2 goals for Lily Patrick. And then Georgia... it doesn't actually say, but in the 92nd minute, 1 goal back for Barnsley, but it doesn't say who got that goal. Bradford City 1, Chorley 2. Goals for Chorley for Katie Matthews in the 30th minute and Ellie Mills. An 80th minute goal back for Bradford City from substitute Amy Lee Barringham-Beck. Moving then into FC United of Manchester against Newcastle United. The big victory for Newcastle United in that opening game. Goals for Katie Barker, Casey Elson, 2 for Georgia Gibson, Georgina Spraggan with 1, and substitute Rebecca Ferguson also getting 1. Leeds United 1, Stockport County 0, a close affair there, and it was right at the end, an 89th minute goal for substitute Kirsty Hunt to give Leeds United that 1-0 victory. And then finally for the Northern Division, Liverpool Feds 2, Durham Sestra 0. Goals coming in quick succession in the second half for the Liverpool Feds. Ellie Fletcher in the 72nd minute, and then Caroline Charlton in the 75th minute, giving the Liverpool Feds that 2-0 victory. We go then into the Division 1 North table. You see it's Newcastle United at the top after that 6-0 win over FC United of Manchester. Liverpool Feds in second with that goal difference of 2. Chorley, Norton, Stockton Ancients and Leeds United all on 1. Alnwick Town and Chester Street Town pick up a solitary point and have the middle of the table after their draw. And then Barnsley, Bradford City and Stockport County all on -1 goal difference. Durham Sestra on -2. And instead FC United of Manchester at the bottom of the table on -6. Division 1 South East then. 2 divisions to go, and then we'll get on to some other news from around the FA Women's National League, particularly that's come out today. So Actonians 1, Cambridge United 0, AFC Wimbledon 2, Kent Football United 1, Cambridge City 1, United 3, Enfield Town 1, London Seaward 1, and a couple of big results to finish off. Norwich City 0, Billericay Town 8, and Queen's Park Rangers 6, Stevenage 0. Looking then at the games in a bit more detail, Actonians winning by a 0-0 against Cambridge United. Rochelle Shakes getting the goal of the game in that one, giving the Actonians the 1-0 victory. AFC in Wimbledon beating Kent Football United by 2-1. 2 early goals for AFC Wimbledon in that one. 5 minutes in, Katie Stanley, and then at 25 minutes, Rebecca Sargent. They had a 2-0 lead at half time. Emma Squirrel got one back for Kent Football United in the 65th minute. They weren't able to get a second, and it finished 2-1. Cambridge City against United. No information on that one on the website, just a 3-1 victory for United. Enfield Town against London Seaward. London Seaward, the away side here, took an early lead. Abby Dell just 5 minutes in, but it lasted up until half time, and then a little bit after, Alana Munro, 53rd minute equaliser for Enfield Town, and that's how that one finished. Norwich City then on the wrong end of a thumping against Billericay Town. But Billericay Town haven't given any information so far as to the goal scorers or anything along that on the website, but an 8-0 victory for Billericay Town against Norwich City. And it's the same story again for Queen's Park Rangers against Stevenage. No information yet about any of the goal scorers or the lineup for Queen's Park Rangers. The Division 1 South East table then, so Billericay Town at the top with that goal difference of 8 and Queen's Park Rangers in second, goal difference of 6. United, AFC Wimbledon and Actonians all picking up 3 points. That draw for Enfield Town and London Seaward sees them firmly in the middle of the table. Harlow Town didn't play, and then Kent Football United and Cambridge United on the wrong end of those 1-goal scorelines. And then it gets towards the bottom, Cambridge City on -2 goal difference, Stevenage on -6, and Norwich City on -8. Division 1 South West then. The final league that we're going to look at in the FA Women's National League. It's Buckland Athletic 1, Larkhall Athletic 3, Cheltenham Town 1, Southampton Women 3, Exeter City 6, Poole Town 1, Portishead 1, Maidenhead United 3, and finally Swindon Town 1, AFC Bournemouth 1. Looking at that first game then, Buckland Athletic against Larkhall Athletic. For Larkhall, 2 goals for Rose Kent and then 1 for Rhiann Robbins. And then goal for Buckland Athletic substitute Sam Kotlinska on the 75-minute mark, giving... just having a look at some of the things here. Yeah, so just giving a goal back for Buckland, but Larkhall 3-1 up at the full-time whistle. Southampton women, they started their season off with another 3-1 victory. There's goals there for Sean Wiley on the 16th minute and the 18th minute. 2 quick goals there. Emily Wernham on the 69th minute put them 3-0 up away at Cheltenham Town. Lacey J. Liggett in the 85th minute got a consolation goal for Cheltenham. Exeter City, 6-1 victors over Poole Town. 2 goals for Stephanie Beck, 1 for Connie Pengelly, 1 for Molly Taylor and 1 for Sarah Stacey. Also off the substitute bench, Charlie Prowse giving Exeter 6 goals. A 78th minute goal for Lauren Kelly, the only marker for Poole Town. Portishead losing by 3-1 to Maidenhead United. Again, no information about that at the moment, and it's the same story for Swindon Town against AFC Bournemouth. So we'll move then straight on to have a look at the Division 1 Southwest table, where Exeter City are at the top with their goal difference of 5. Wins also for Larkhall Athletic, Maidenhead United and Southampton Women put them at the top with their 100% record so far. Bournemouth and Swindon in the middle after sharing their draw. Chesham United didn't play. And then Buckland Athletic, Cheltenham Town, Portishead and Poole Town at the bottom of the table. So that's everything that happened on Sunday, the opening day of the season, the 15th of August. But of course, it's a bit of a cliche, but there is an awful lot of football still to play. So let's have a look at some of that so far. So what's coming up this weekend? It's going to be Sunday the 22nd of August. We'll start in the Northern Premier Division where Burnley face Nottingham Forest. It's Derby County against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Hull City against Brighouse Town. Loughborough Lightning against Sheffield FC. Middlesbrough against Huddersfield Town. And Stoke City against AFC Fylde. In the Southern Premier Division, Cardiff City are at home to Portsmouth, Chichester and Chelsea against Oxford United, Gillingham against Hounslow, Ipswich Town against Crawley Wasps, London Bees against Keynsham Town, MK Dons against Bridgewater United and Plymouth Argyle against Southampton. In the Division 1 Midlands, Bedworth United against Peterborough United, Boldmere St Michael's against Burton Albion, Doncaster Rovers Bells against Sporting Calzar, Hull Sports kick off their campaign. They're at home to Solihull Moors, Lincoln City against Leek Town and Wem Town against Long Eaton United. In Division 1 North, Bradford City versus Durham Sestra, Chester Street Town against FC United of Manchester, Chorley take on Leeds United, Norton and Stockton Ancients kick off their home campaign against Alnwick Town and Stockport County face Liverpool Feds. Division 1 South East, Billericay Town against AFC Wimbledon, Cambridge United against Enfield Town, Harlow Town against Cambridge City, #United are at home to Actonians, Kent Football United against Queen's Park Rangers and London Seaward against Norwich City. And finally, Division 1 South West, AFC Bournemouth against Exeter City, Chesham United versus Buckland Athletic, Poole Town versus Cheltenham Town, Portishead against Swindon and Southampton Women against Maidenhead United. So those are the fixtures that are coming up this Sunday on the 22nd of August. But I did say that I'd be having a look at some of the other news that's going on as well. We've had today on Monday at midday the draw for the determining round of the FA Women's National League Cup. For anybody who's unfamiliar with this, the teams are put all into a hat. They get drawn out against each other. And then the winners of this determining round tie go into the FA Women's National League Cup and the losers go into the plate. So there is still a knockout competition for those teams who lose this opening fixture. Now, these ties are to be played on Sunday, the 12th of September. So, of course, I'll cover those in a lot more detail when we get to the show before the 12th of September, but since the draw has taken place, I'll just run through the list. So bear with me because it's got all the teams in it. It's a long old list, but I'll run through the list so you can see who your team's playing, and then look forward to Cup football, where there's always something special about Cup football on Sunday the 12th. So this is obviously in alphabetical order by home team as well. We've got AFC Wimbledon against Oxford United, Alnwick Town versus Chorley, Barnsley against Sporting Calzar, Bedworth United against Burton Albion, Bridgewater United against Maidenhead United, Brighouse Town against Hull Sports, Cambridge City against Buckland Athletic, Cambridge United versus Portishead Town, Cardiff City against Actonians, Cheltenham Town versus Southampton, Chesham United versus Kent Football United, Chester Street Town versus Leafield Athletic, Crawley Wasps against London Seaward, Derby County versus Lincoln, Durham Sestra against Stockport County, Enfield Town versus Queen's Park Rangers, Exeter City versus Plymouth Argyle, FC United of Manchester against AFC Fylde, Gillingham versus Norwich City, Harlow Town versus Billericay Town, United against Stevenage, Hounslow versus AFC Bournemouth, Huddersfield Town versus Boldmere St Michael's, Hull City versus Burnley, Ipswich Town versus London Bees, Liverpool Feds against Nottingham Forest, Long Eaton United versus Peterborough United, Loughborough Lightning against Doncaster Rovers Bells, Milton Keynes Dons against Keynsham Town, Newcastle United versus Leek Town, Norton and Stockton Ancients versus Wem Town, Poole Town against Swindon Town, Portsmouth against Chichester and Chelsea, Sheffield FC against Bradford City, Southampton Women against Larkhall Athletic, Stoke City against Solihull Moors, West Bromwich Albion take on Middlesbrough, and then finally Wolverhampton Wanderers against Leeds United. As I said, ties to be played on Sunday the 12th of September. That will just about cover it for this episode of the FA Women's National League show. We've gone through the results, the tables and the fixtures and given you the information about the upcoming FA Women's National League Cup with that determining round draw that's going to take place in a few weeks' time. So, hope you have enjoyed this show all about the opening day and what's coming up in the next week. For anyone who's not familiar, these shows will be every week at 6 p.m. on Tuesday over on YouTube. If you want more information, my Twitter handle is at Chris_Gadsby, and that's where any more information about this show, if it has to be late one week for whatever reason, will be posted. So make sure you keep an eye on that. But as ever, as I said at the start, thank you for the support you've done and shown me so far on this show. I'm going to keep this going. I'm looking for guests, anybody involved with women's football. If you want to come on and just chat about women's football, help promote the game a bit, then you're more than welcome. Just get in contact with me. And again, if anyone's got any suggestions or comments or helpful advice, places to go to get more information that you can tell me, then please do. Just want to make this show as good as it possibly can be. But that will do it for this for this second episode of the FA Women's National League show. Again, make sure you give your local team a follow. Get down there if you can and show your support. And let's try and grow the women's game, particularly at National League level, as much as we possibly can. But keep yourself safe and goodbye.